Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Mary Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in the show today, we join Indonesia Tzu Chi volunteers as they hold a relief distribution for flood survivors who have been struggling to put food on the table. As there are 9 days of the Lunar New Year holiday in Taiwan this year, we head to Hualien to see how kitchen volunteers at the Jingsi abode are preparing meals for their guests. And we meet 2 husband and wife teams who are opting to spend their Lunar New Year holiday at their local recycling station. In Indonesia, the heavy rainfall in January caused massive flooding to many areas. As the floodwaters have now receded, residents' lives are slowly returning to normal. However, with the increase in food prices, some residents are finding it hard to feed their family. To help, Tzu Chi held an aid distribution to assist those less fortunate, with many of the volunteers at the event flood victims themselves. Let's take a look. Here in Indonesia, one can see young volunteers running around helping out. Lewis Lee is only a first grader. However, he already knows the importance of helping out those less fortunate.
I'm helping out today because it's said these flood victims don't have any food. Everyone is helping by sharing their food with others.
At the distribution at the Tingkaran Tzu Chi school, many of the staff here are also flood victims themselves. So while assisting others in need, it hits close to home.
The staff from the school have also felt the significance of this natural disaster. Although they too are victims, they are very thankful to have the opportunity to help others in need.
After the flood, food prices became unbearable for those who were already struggling to make ends meet.
I have no money or food. It's very sad.
Tzu Chi volunteers prepare rice and instant noodles for the disaster relief distribution. And although the lines are long, everyone waited in an orderly fashion to receive their supplies.
Right now, food prices have gone up, so Tzu Chi's food subsidies have been a big help in relieving the financial burden of residents.
As the survivors receive their aid supplies, they have one less thing to worry about as each look forward to the day their lives return to normal. Staying in Indonesia, Tzu Chi Care recipient Saima has been taking care of her 7 children since her husband passed away. Seeing the family of 32, which includes Saima's many grandchildren, crammed into a small house that leaked every time it rains, volunteers decided to help renovate the recipient's house last year.
Since Tzu Chi renovated her house, Saima's family of 32 has found peace of mind.
It's such a big family and they are all crammed into a house that is in such poor condition. There are leaks everywhere and the rooms are in even worse shape. The environment is not good for their children either.
We were surrounded by the forest before, and when it flooded, we couldn't go out to make a living. Our children were still young back then. After her husband passed away, Saima was left with 7 children to raise on her own. The single mother is always out before sunrise to work as a nanny and masseuse to make ends meet.
I think my mom is the best mother in the world. From when she was young till now, she has been devoted to this family.
I will do anything for my children. I only hope that when they grow up, they will understand the hardship their parents went through. Saima's hardworking attitude has made her the best role model her children could have. And today, at the age of 70, she and her family are looking forward to starting a new chapter in their lives.
Next, we join Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines who recently held a year-end blessing ceremony for the residents of a local community in Manila. But before we take a look, let's join Myanmar Tzu Chi volunteers at their year-end blessing ceremony where they visited a local temple under the invitation of the temple's abbot.
70 shamaneras, each with a bamboo coin bank in their hands, are waiting in line to donate the savings they received from almsgiving.
The donations which we received are divided into 4 portions: our living expenses, tuition fees, medical expenses, and a portion is for the bamboo bank.
Having attended a Tzu Chi function 3 years ago, the temple's abbot decided to adopt the bamboo coin banks and spread the idea of one compassionate deed a day in his temple.
Tzu Chi volunteers carry out relief work and help disaster victims around the world. I'm very impressed with their work. That's why I want to donate.
Under the invitation of the abbot, Tzu Chi volunteers organized a year-end blessing ceremony here at the temple, where the shamaneras also donated savings from their bamboo banks to Tzu Chi. Here in the Philippines, the year-end blessing ceremony held in a local community in Manila saw some 600 participants join in the celebration. On stage, Tzu Chi volunteers also repented for their past mistakes.
Thank you, Master. Thank you, Tzu Chi. Thank you, everyone.
When I joined Tzu Chi, I told myself I have to change for the sake of my children and my grandchildren.
Looking back on the past year, the footprints of Tzu Chi's missions in the Philippines inspired many participants to become Tzu Chi members and join the volunteers' ranks.
If we have time as a family, we can join and encourage more people to attend Tzu Chi.
I am very moved. When I have the opportunity, I will come attend.
Upon receiving the blessing and wisdom red envelopes, participants prayed for peace and harmony in the year ahead.
In Taiwan, there are a total of 9 days of Lunar New Year holiday. And to welcome Tzu Chi volunteers from around the globe, every day the kitchen volunteers at Jingse Abode in Hualien prepare meals for more than 2,000 people. Let's see how they do it.
This is Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Wenfang, who specializes in cooking. However, he used to cook meat dishes instead.
Before I cooked a lot of meat dishes, but now I only cook vegetarian meals. It is great to spend my New Year holidays here at the Jingse Abode.
To welcome Tzu Chi volunteers from around the globe, every day Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan have to prepare meals for about 2,000 people.
We are here to earn happiness and form good affinities with others. Today we have volunteers from all around Taiwan and everyone work happily together as a team.
Last year, our whole family volunteered at the Jingse Abode. However, this year I only came with my wife because my daughter is working right now in Australia. She promised to volunteer with us next year when she comes back.
With Tzu Chi brothers and sisters by his side, Chen and his family promises to return to the Jingse Abode once again next year to cook even more delicious New Year's dishes for their guests.
Back to Malaysia. To celebrate the Lunar New Year, Kota Kinabalu Tzu Chi volunteers held a celebration in a local nursing home in the town of Kinarut. This year, other than the sign language performance of the Water Repentance Sutra, volunteers also added a tea ceremony to the program as a way to thank the seniors for their contributions to society.
This is the scene at the local nursing home in the town of Kinaru, Malaysia. Today, Tzu Chi volunteers from Kota Kinabalu are holding a Lunar New Year celebration.
We are very happy. We need to thank Tzu Chi volunteers for bringing such a wonderful event to our nursing home. The only words that can describe Tzu Chi is you are number one.
To make sure all the seniors are ready to celebrate the Chinese New Year, 2 days before the event, volunteers thoughtfully prepare new clothes and shoes for each senior. On the day of the event, volunteers also prepare vegetarian New Year's dishes that were both delicious and healthy.
It will be a pity if I miss today's event because I prefer vegetarian dishes. I think going meatless calms my mood. The programs prepared by the volunteers made me very happy.
This year, the volunteers also added a tea ceremony to the program as a way to thank the seniors for their contribution to society. Next, volunteers presented each of them with red envelopes of blessing and wisdom. Tzu Chi volunteers also performed a section from the musical adaptation of the Water Repentance Sutra. Through their performance, the volunteers hope to inspire the seniors to think good thoughts.
Yayasan ini telah pun datang di sini selama 10 tahun untuk memberikan perkhidmatan.
Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for the seniors at this nursing home for more than 10 years, and a strong bond has already formed between them. The volunteers also help lessen the workload for our staff, as they are very good assistants.
For the past 14 years, Tzu Chi volunteers have provided these seniors with love and care, and they promise to carry on the good work in the years to come.
Returning to Taiwan, where Tzu Chi volunteers visit a senior center to bring some Lunar New Year's cheer to the residents there in Wugu District of New Taipei City. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, volunteers care and tend for those on the fringe of society.
Hong Kong is famous for its beautiful skyline at night. However, have you ever wondered what life is like for those seeking shelter under a bridge?
In just 7 years, out of 10 homeless here, 4 passed away around this spot due to sickness or hunger.
To help people who live on the fringes of society, Tzu Chi volunteers walk along streets handing out blankets, food, and shower gels. It is obviously that no one wants to sleep without a roof over his or her head. Luckily, with Tzu Chi volunteers' help, these homeless contemporaries forget their troubles and sleep soundly with their new blankets. Also caring for those forgotten by most, in Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at a senior housing in Wugu District of New Taipei City to bring some holiday cheer to the residents there.
Before, I used to celebrate the Lunar New Year with my family, but we don't celebrate it together anymore because now all of them have their own families.
Knowing that the seniors often feel lonely, every month Tzu Chi volunteers will visit them. To celebrate the Lunar New Year, volunteers this time also brought along gifts.
We hope to provide love and care for them, and actually I'm very happy when I care for them. Helping the seniors reminds me of the importance of fulfilling filial duties.
In fact, these seniors don't need much. All they need is a little bit of company and love to be happy.
In Taiwan, members of the public usually organize outdoor activities during the Lunar New Year holiday. However, many recycling volunteers took advantage of the time off to work at Tzu Chi's Xizhi recycling station. Among them was 54-year-old Huang Yongshu and his wife. Let's take a look.
Sorting recyclables is Huang Yongshu. Despite recovering from surgery, Huang has still chosen to work at the recycling station as his way to celebrate the New Year holidays.
Yesterday, my mother asked me why I didn't go traveling. I said it costs a lot of money. She thought I stay at home to accompany her, but actually I spend more time at the recycling station than by her side.
In the beginning, Huang's wife didn't support his passion for recycling, but now this couple works together at the Xizhi recycling station.
My wife now joins me in recycling, and she also feels the joy from it. Now she can better appreciate Tzu Chi's ideals and support me as I walk the Tzu Chi path.
Another recycling volunteer who has given up her holidays to recycle is 62-year-old Zhang Jingyin, whose husband later became a certified recycling volunteer.
I'm very touched by my husband's company. It's not easy for him to take part. Soon after his retirement, he joined me at the recycling station.
Seeing the piles of recyclables, This couple decided to make their New Year holidays more meaningful.
I would rather sort recyclables than go sightseeing during the holidays. It's better to do recycling as we are still healthy.
Here at the Xizhi recycling station, over 10,000 plastic bottles and 5,000 kilograms of second-hand clothes are waiting to be processed. Many couples and families have decided to give up their holidays to help out, as they understand that protecting Mother Nature is a job that cannot wait.
Staying in Taiwan, we meet Tzu Chi Care recipient Mr. Luo from Miaoli, who was injured in a car accident. Thanks to Tzu Chi's financial support, Luo was able to get back on his feet. Despite poverty and sickness, Luo tries his best to reciprocate Tzu Chi's help by donating from his bamboo coin bank. As well, he goes to the recycling station at the Miaoli Tzu Chi grounds as a token of his appreciation.
Every morning, Mr. Luo rides his electric wheelchair to the recycling station. A car accident left Mr. Luo with a bone fracture in his left leg. Despite the accident, Mr. Luo tries his best to overcome his disability.
When I first came to the recycling station, the volunteers were eager to teach me how to deal with the recyclables.
As both a care recipient and a recycling volunteer, Mr. Luo uses this path as a way to give back.
He has been here for 7 or 8 months now, and he has found so much happiness and improvement. He says he wants to reciprocate Tzu Chi and follow Master Zhen Yan's path.
I appreciate Tzu Chi's care, and thank you, Tzu Chi, for giving me the opportunity to be a volunteer.
As Luo practices recycling, he gives recyclables a second lease on life.
This is a recyclable and it is still useful. I'm going to turn it into a coin bank and later donate a field one to Tzu Chi.
To help the less fortunate, Mr. Luo donates the money he saves every day to Tzu Chi.
His life philosophy has changed for the better. He is now much happier.
As usual, Mr. Luo rides his electric wheelchair to the recycling station, rain or shine, where he cultivates a peaceful state of mind.
In Malaysia, at this year's performance of the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings in Penang, over 1,000 volunteers took to the stage to perform, and in the process, many came to a deeper understanding of the Buddha's wisdom in their own lives. One family finds they argue less at home and no longer saw making money as the most important thing in their lives.
Although business is booming at this noodle shop in Penang, Malaysia,
Owner Li Huiying
and her family of 3 doesn't forget to practice as they go through their day. And when it comes time for rehearsal, they close up shop despite the day falling on a weekend.
We can work every day, but the training sessions come around only once in a while. Before, what was important was making money, but now doing good deeds is what motivates me.
For this family, making money now takes a back seat to working with the Dharma. And they are already seeing results as they find the family argues less frequently.
I will remind myself that I'm participating in the sutra performance and that perhaps this way of going about things is wrong and that I need to change my thinking and ideas.
I was very rebellious before. My parents would say one sentence and I would rebuke with 10. I always wanted to win, but after studying the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings, I've learned that as a son, I should not act in this way.
1,013 members of the local community have volunteered to take part in the performance of the sutra, where together they are realizing the Buddha's teachings. As for dialysis patient Li Yuanxing, despite not being able to see, he is happy to take part.
The others will help me. For example, when I need to raise my hand, they will tell me to do so. My heart is different. My heart and mind are more and more clear. I have less vexations.
Walking the Tzu Chi path together, these volunteers are on their way to putting on a flawless performance as they share in the wisdom and truth of the Buddha Dharma.
Continuing in Malaysia, we meet 15-year-old Zhou Jieyi, who was a former student at the Tzu Chi kindergarten in Penang. Influenced by Tzu Chi's humanitarian spirit, Zhou brought back what she learned during that time to change herself and her family. Here's more.
I'm thankful that I studied at the Tzu Chi kindergarten, as it made me more self-disciplined and conscientious.
This is 15-year-old Zhou Jieyi, a former student of Tzu Chi kindergarten in Penang, Malaysia, who took away many lessons from her time in Tzu Chi.
I'll help my mother to do household chores, like doing dishes. I'm used to it. After all, we are a small family, and doing dishes doesn't take much time.
If in the beginning you don't ask her to do household chores, she won't ever learn to help out. So I kept encouraging her to maintain the good habits she developed in kindergarten. She's great because sometimes she even does more household chores than I do.
As an extension of her filial piety, Zhou also tries to encourage her mother to adopt vegetarianism.
At the kindergarten, we ate vegetarian food, so now I still eat vegetarian. It was easier for my father to go meatless, but my mother took a while to accept not eating meat. One day she hid fish under the rice, and I saw fish bones left in her rice. Every time when I asked her to go meatless, she would get angry and always argue with me.
Yes, I still eat meat. It's very embarrassing as she has adopted vegetarianism and I haven't, but I'm trying to reduce the amount of meat I eat. It was not easy in the beginning.
Though long graduated from Tzu Chi Kindergarten, Zhou has not forgotten what she learned there, as Tzu Chi's power of kindness continues to circulate in her life and family.
Lastly, in Malaysia, at the Dai Daycare Center in Penang, students there recently put on a short skit based on the Jingsi aphorisms they have learned in class. The daycare, which is for children between 4 and 6, teaches its students about life education as well as time management. And through the performance, the children all learn important life lessons.
Here in Malaysia's Penang, students at the Dai Daycare Center are putting on short skits based on the Jingsi aphorisms they have learned in class. With help and guidance from their teachers, each child is given the role of an animal to play, and all have learned valuable lessons in the process. First, we want them to be able to speak loudly in front of others and express themselves. There's one more important thing to drama, and that is for the children to learn what discipline is about. There are approximately 12 students in each of the morning and afternoon classes, and apart from helping students with homework, storytelling and field trips are also part of the curriculum. Among the students is Li Siqing, who used to be a shy girl that lacked confidence. Through the performance, Li not only learned to express herself more freely, but is now a more outgoing person.
小狐狸。然后它里面是角色做些什么？就是做伤心的表情。这次我收获这个就是近视语，心没看什么都没。
Thanks to the performance, students young and old all gained new insight into their favorite Jingsi aphorisms.
At the end of the show, we returned to Taiwan, where 600 people from ages 3 to 80 gathered at the Tainan Jingsi Hall to send a Lunar New Year's greeting. A group of students from Tainan's Dai Kindergarten even brought vegetables they grew themselves to the event to encourage more people to adopt a vegetarian diet. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching the show and see you next week.